We were all orphans at one point spiritually, but now we're not. We're part of the family of God. Amen, Paula. Thank you.
Well, good morning. Man, it is so good to be home. My husband is still fishing down there and headed home this afternoon, but he said, Buddy says hey. So Buddy says hey, and he loves you all and misses you all. So he'll be home tomorrow. Okay. Wow, what a week. What a week. I hope I can describe what took place, because I have trouble getting it from here to here. So bear with me. I'm going to give it my best shot here. We took our grandson Adam and two of the foster boys. You may remember Tiger and Titan. They used to come to our church here. That was our team. And my cousin's team from Olathe Baptist Church in Kansas brought 12, and they have been there several years doing this. But that's the most that they've ever been able to muster up, because last year they had so much fun and people were excited. So they brought 12 wonderful people. We had so much fun, just really doing the Lord's work and enjoying the other team. So I'm going to give you a little history on the Murrow Indian Children's Home. It was established by Reverend J.S. Murrow shortly after the Civil War to provide and care for orphaned American Indians. And I was looking through the internet and I found this letter from 1905. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. And apparently this was their letter to try to raise donations. Until now, there has never been a home exclusively for Indian orphan children founded upon purely benevolent principles. $100,000 are needed. This is in 1905. $100,000 are needed for buildings and other improvements. Contributions are solicited. Will you help these Indian orphans? Please help now. And nearly 50 years ago, now this is in 1905, so nearly 50 years ago, right after the Civil War, Reverend J.S. Murrow, then a young man living in the state of Georgia, felt called of God to undertake missionary work among Indians in Indian Territory. For 5 long weeks, he and his young wife pressed westward by riverboat, by stagecoach, and private team, at last reaching their destination in this new, very new country. From that time until now, Brother Murrow has toiled amidst discouragements and poverty and generous effort to lead these sons of the forest to the Lamb of God who taketh away the sins of the world. Under this leadership, very many of these Indians have been introduced to the kingdom of God. Now this is in 1905, and a tract of land embracing more than 2,000 acres in Choctaw Nation. So this is on Choctaw land that it currently is. But 2,000 acres has been set aside by the government for the perpetual use of this home. Okay, that was 5 years later, in 1910, somehow the home moved to back home college campus. It's on a college campus. So as I'm reading through this, I wonder what happened to those 2,000 acres they were given. But now they're on a college campus, and that site was purchased in 1920, and the 3 present cottages, 2 for females and 1 for males, were built in 1965. And there, in 1965, they were gorgeous. I mean, they're brick, and they were built well, but now they're very dated. And that was a lot of our work, just doing fix-up work and They have, they have a transition cottage, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Murrow Home continues to care for American Indian children who are in state or tribal custody as a result of abuse and neglect, with the mission to provide a safe, nurturing environment, spiritual foundation, and cultural experience to them. The home usually serves approximately 45 to 65 children, ages 3 to 18. Presently, there's 12 there. And there's no little kids except one of the high schooler or the older girls has a baby, so that's the only little one. The problem being they can't find anyone to work. They can't find staff. The one home, the transition cottage, that's for kids going out of high school into life. They're kind of living on their own, but they're still supervised. They have a man and wife house parents there that helps them and guides them and stuff. And then the other home just has a lady who lives there full time, and it's got junior high and high school kids. But there's only 12, and actually there are 2 more on the way. Again, they can't find anyone to work, and it takes a special person to do that kind of work. So in your prayers, please pray for workers to show up, that God would lead workers there for them. The Murrow Home staff strives to ensure that residents develop skills and relationships to help them succeed throughout life. To this end, they have expanded the State Department of Human Services Independent Living Program, originally for teens to serve children of all ages. The program includes 7 key elements: essential documents, physical and mental health, stable housing, life skills development, employment, education, and permanent connections. In the cottages, children learn basic life skills and are provided activities and hands-on experience. So these kids in the transition college learn anything simple of, balancing a checkbook, how to live outside on their own, which is very, very important because they were never taught these skills. For example, youth visit an auto dealership and learn about everything that's involved with purchasing a vehicle. And they visit a bank and open a checking account. Permanent connections are a key focus to the Murrow home. Relationships formed with house parents become lifelong connections for the children, who in many cases have never had an opportunity to develop strong positive relationships with adults. Betty Martin is the director there, and she's been there several years, and the kids adore her. They love her. Let me tell you about Wyatt. Wyatt came and helped us. One of our jobs was raking leaves, 20 years worth of leaves for 3 days, in 100-degree weather with 200% humidity. So it was wonderful to see Wyatt show up. And Wyatt's 20 years old. He transitioned out of the program when he was 18. And somehow the tribe, when they turn 18, they give them some money. And so it's usually spent on a car. So Wyatt bought a car and went off to live on his own, but still had strong ties to the Murrow home. So this is a story he told us. He got into trouble. He ended up homeless, living on the streets, and he called Betty. And Betty said, come home. So he's there now, trying to get his life straightened out. He's hoping to get a job in security on the Bacone College. And he was waiting for his background check, but just a dear boy. And he was so starved for camaraderie or attention that we couldn't get him to shut up. He wanted to talk. I mean, it was bedtime, and Wyatt, you got to go home now. He just It was just a great, great time, and I think he's going to make it. I think he'll be a success story. Let's see. So the adults there are not just house parents, but they're parents. They form relationships with these kids that go their whole life. The Murrow Indian Home is primarily funded by the American. My cousin's church is also an American Baptist, so that's how we got hooked up with them. It receives state and tribal funding and money from foundations and individual donors. So I'm just going to give you a short overview of the college. Bacone College. The reason I know this is because the director came over one day when we were having lunch because he was so impressed about having 17 people doing mission work that he came to tell us that the college also likes missions to come and work on the dorms in the summer. And it was like the third day, and we're just looking at him. Nobody said anything. So anyway, Bacone College is the oldest continually operating private liberal arts school in Oklahoma, established in 1880. It has offered associate degrees to thousands of students with a primary emphasis toward American Indians. So it used to be only American Indians, but now anyone can go. But the Murrow home, they have to have some Indian in them. And there are some black kids there too, but they have to have Indian blood in them before they can go. One thing the director from the college told us that really stuck out, out of 100 Native American children, only 20 graduate high school. Out of 20, 4 go to college. Out of the 4, 1 graduates. There is such a need here in the United States. I had no idea till we spent a week down there. Some of these kids, I'm going to tell you a couple stories. There's a girl there who's very angry. She's probably a middle school girl. And her mom's boyfriend was abusing her. Social services got involved and told the mom she had to either get rid of the boyfriend or they were going to take the girl. She chose the boyfriend. So this little girl cries all night. She wants to go home. She misses her mom. So she's very angry. Then there's Courtney. Courtney's, in her mid-late teens. She's the one with the little girl, Maddie, who's 2. She's in the transition cottage trying to learn skills so she can someday support herself. There's another Wyatt there, but he really tried hard to get him to rope and stuff, but he's also very angry. He's probably 15, and 9 years ago, he and 4 girls were adopted out to a family from there. And 9 years later, they brought Wyatt back and said that it was just too much. They couldn't handle him. So he's feeling very rejected, very angry. The kids just need love there. They just need love. I think I've told you about Mackenzie, though. She's gone, but she was in the transition home. She took college courses on the side. She worked for hospice. She got her car when she turned 18. The tribe gave her some money, and she's off living on her own, working at hospice. So there are success stories. The kids just look at the people as parents, and that's all they have for parents. It's sad. It's a sad. But it's a good mission. It needs to be there. And my goodness, since after the Civil War, don't you think God's hand is in that?
So on their webpage, this is what the Murrow home has. The Murrow Indian Children's Home provides a safe, nurturing environment, spiritual foundation, and cultural experience to Native children in crisis. We provide more than a meal and a bed for children who need our services. Part of the cottage lifestyle includes house parents, a group of individuals who care for the children around the clock, creating close relationships with the children and a loving, safe environment. We also support their educational and vocational aspirations, extracurricular activities, and spiritual life. Oh, these aren't my notes. No wonder I didn't. So, what we did there with your gifts is we bought a washer because one of the washers in the cottage was broken and it didn't drain, and it was full of clothes with algae on them, and it was a mess. But we got rid of that. Betty made 3 loads to the dump, and we did a lot of just cleanup, a lot of yard work, a lot of replacing lights, putting light fixtures in, cleaning gutters. It was a good time. We bought pizza for all the kids one night. We're going to have a little video. We're not allowed to take too many pictures of them because some of them are in hiding. So, I mean, we can share the pictures here, but we can't. We have to be real careful. Some of them, Betty said, some of the kids come there straight from the hospital because they do lead rough lives. And you know, it just hit me. It just amazes me that in this day and age that American Indians are still so downtrodden. But anyway, it was good. On Betty's stationery, she has Matthew 18:20, for we walk by faith, not by sight. Oh, no, that's 2 Corinthians 5:7. The other one's mine. So, for we walk by faith, not by sight. And they don't know where their next helper's going to come from or if they're going to have enough funding, but God's hand is in this. And she said, it always comes. It always comes. I have just my verse I want to share with you is Matthew 28:18-20. Jesus came and told his disciples, I have been given all authority in heaven and on earth. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Teach these new disciples to obey all commands I have given you. And be sure of this, I am with you always, even into the end of the age. That's my favorite verse. So, we have a little video that my cousin put together. And then if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them. There's some literature from the college that I'll sit over here if you'd like to look at it. But look up the Murrow home on the internet. It's and there are some pictures there too. It's a very good mission, and I'm proud of our church that we were able to sponsor it. Thank you, guys.
I feel like it was a really good time to build some relationships with people I didn't know and build on to the ones that I already have with people I do know. And I feel like it's good to get out and help people who are in need.
The joy of being together, you know. Yeah. That's important for us. And I agree with God just gave us a little bit different perspective.
I never seen more people that had their heart in helping other people and work as hard as y'all worked this whole week.
It's been a really good 4 days here at Murrow, helping out, fixing things, and all of us joining together. Hopefully these children will be blessed, and there's so much pain here with the children, and we just need to all lift them up in prayer daily.
I have so enjoyed this week. I was really nervous about coming because I'm new to the church, and this whole group, I love every single one of you because you have made this such a fantastic welcoming week for me.
I read Matthew 6, I think, with my brother, and it said to do things in secret, which is basically what we're doing with the kids. The kids don't know we do this, but then it's in secret, but God knows we do it.
I think has been done with a step of faith, that our work will go into the future, because we don't know what those kids that will come in this next year and those kids that go out next year.
And I knew we had way more things than we were going to possibly get done today. And just having everybody step up, George helped up and stepped up and did the guttering. Paul, you did the indoor, and then that really freed us to do some other things that we knew we were going to still struggle. That's just a blessing how everybody came together all week, time and time again.
I forgot to tell you guys what we did with the money you sent. We bought I think I told you about the washer. We bought a toilet, we bought a weed eater, we bought all kinds of tools and stuff, so it went well. It was used wisely. I didn't go to the casino and blow it all, so. Do you guys have any questions? Joanne? Oh, you know what? It was a blessing for us. It was a blessing. I'm glad we were able to represent this wonderful family here at this church. So. You know, that's a good idea. Yeah. And Betty did mention how much, I know we don't get thank you cards or anything, but how much the Christmas gifts mean to those kids. They look forward to them, so we have to keep going on it now. We can't stop. So yeah, I think that's I'll get some info and we'll do that. John?
So how many children are residents at this
Right now there's about 12. And there's no little ones. They usually have a boys' cottage and a girls' cottage and the transition cottage. They have the transition cottage right now because they have a man and wife house parents there. Then they have the other cottage, and just this really nice little lady takes care of them. And she's got the boys on one end and the girls on the other. And again, they just cannot get any help. I pray that the Lord lays this on some hearts, because there's a mission out there. Those kids just mostly they need love of anything. Melody? No, they go to the public school. There's a bus there. They're in all kinds of activities. They go to church Sundays and Wednesday nights. We didn't realize they went Wednesday nights because Wyatt, the kid that was helping us, came back and he said, "Why didn't you guys go to church?" So we said, well, we were working, so we didn't realize. But yes, God is very present on that campus. John? The full-time, well, there's always one. The older kids have a man and wife, and right now there's just the one lady in the other cottage, but they kind of spill over. They kind of all, they all eat together. Betty, the director, oversees everything. She's in and out of the cottages all day long. And this time of year, they don't have school, so they're just there right now and doing some activities. They're getting ready for their big powwow, which is, I don't really know what it is, but it's a big fundraiser. And one of their things on their wish list is an old bus or van to be turned into where they can sell Indian tacos, like a trailer. So, yeah, a food truck, thank you. And they have a gift shop there, and a lot of American Indians donate their work, and artists and everything, so a lot of that goes to support the college, and it's a gorgeous gift shop, very well done, and it's not trinkets, it's nice pictures and artwork and stuff, so that also helps them. So God just opens all kinds of doors to provide for these kids. So some of them have been there for a while, because I noticed the same names on the Christmas list several years. And like I said, I think Betty said there's 2 more coming, but again, the staff problem is an issue. And actually, one of the staff ladies that was there a long time had died because of COVID, so they lost a really good support there. But I really feel in my heart this is God's mission, and He'll open the doors for them. But it's truly, and it's just life-changing going down there. So next year, if you guys like to rake leaves, let me know, and we'll head back. Anything else? Again, thank you for being such a great church family and supporting this mission. You were very generous, and it was much needed. Thank you.